This is the sort of introduction overview to Chapter 12. Chapter 12, all in all, is a lot less formidable than Chapter 11 was, but there's a few key points in the chapter. The main thing with Chapter 12 is to make sure that you are firmly in Chapter 12. Chapter 12 is in the asset section of the balance sheet. We're going to be investing in stock. We're going to be investing in debt securities. Those are assets. And that's a little easy to get confused on because in Chapter 10, we were issuing bonds payable and notes payable. We were paying interest. In Chapter 12, we are going to be investing in the debt securities, bonds payable, notes payable, of other companies. We're going to be receiving interest revenue. So Chapter 12, asset section, we're investing in debt securities, receiving interest revenue. Chapter 12 versus Chapter 11. In Chapter 11, corporations, we were issuing stock, we were paying dividends. Now in Chapter 12, we're investing in the stock of other companies, and we're going to be receiving dividend revenue. So it's very important to sort of get yourself situated for this chapter. A note about the cost method, which we run into in Learning Objectives 2 and 3. For some unknown reason, Wiley has eliminated all of the transaction costs from the homework and from the material in the chapter. You need to know about these. So when you're doing the homework, you can do them the way Wiley does, but the examples that I show you will show how these are properly done with the transaction costs. Why do you need to do them? Because this is how they're done. If you exclude the transaction costs, you're going to be paying too much in taxes when you compute capital gains and losses. So for the cost method, you need to know how the transaction costs work. On the exam, there will be transaction costs, but you don't have to worry about it for the homework. But all of my examples will show you how to do that. Let's see. Other sort of as an overview to the chapter, we're going to be dealing with debt investments and stock investments. When it comes to the distinction between the two, the basic one is that debt investments, this is investments in bonds, do not vote. And so as a bondholder, you have no control over the company. So we're going to account for those investments one way. With stock investments, each share equals one vote. So depending on what percentage of the shares of the company you own, we're going to have 3 different ways to account for our stock investments, which you'll see as we go along. You can have no control, you can have some control, or you can totally control the company. There's 3 different ways to account for that, which we will see. In approaching the chapter, I would take a quick browse through the what you need to know. That gives you sort of general idea of what's going to be important in the chapter. And then I also put together an outline of the chapter, a sort of outline and organization. That may help you organize your thoughts on the chapter. I try to be pretty clear as I'm going through the material, but the outline may come in handy. So that's about it for the introduction to Chapter 12.